Hi all, I am Mr. Sanayakar. This presentation will discuss on the most serious and challenging issue in the today's IT world. That is handling incident and how to determine the cost of mitigation process compared to the damage caused by incident. Usually users, system administrators, information security staff members and others within the organization will inquire about the incident response. What is an incident? First, we will look at what is meant by incident. Violation of any sort of computer security policies, acceptable use policies, or standard computer security practice are termed an incident. Below mentioned two are such examples. An attacker commands a botnet and sends high volumes of connections requests on one of organization web servers, causing it to crash. User provides legal copies of software others through peer-to-peer file sharing services. What is incident handling? Incident handling is defined as a process of detecting and analyzing incident and limiting the incident effects. Importance of estimating cost of incident handling. Now we will look an important of estimating cost of incident handling. Within an organization or firm, when IT manager wants to request for a security team or an appliance of safeguard computer security, he or she must be able to estimate company monetary values and to select the mitigation measures that decrease the loss occurrence most effectively in incidents. Budgeting of cost of incident handling will help to determine which security measures to undertake and will help to calculate the return on security investment. Estimating cost of computer security. In this presentation, I will discuss practical scenario of how to calculate cost of incident handling, taking two types of institution as an example. Uh, commercial IT, commercial IT store and college. Five select types of computer threats would be considered in for cost of estimation as spam, virus, DDoS, customers, data theft, and botnet identified. Before going to calculation, there are some terminology have to be explained which are used in this calculation. First one is annual rate of occurrence, ARO. This means expected numbers of an incident occurrence during the calendar year. Or it can be different from incident type to type. Single loss of next single loss acceptly. Single loss of expectancy, which means expected value, cost of incident in monetary units, assuring its single occurrence. Usually, the SLE for the each type of incident is different. Annual loss of expectancy. This refers expected value cost of year occurrence in of incidents given type in mandatory units. This can be obtained through product SLE and ARO. Total ALE. In here, total expect annual loss expectancy from all types of incident are considered. In this example, we will consider company and college comparable in size 100 employees. The company over the internet store has to approximately 100 euro million 100 to 200 million euros profitable. That means company cost should be smaller than the revenue times gross margin. The college business model is based on student tuitions. We will consider 2,000 students in the college and 6,000 euro from the student will be charged per year in order. to college to be profitable, which also depends on the staff salaries and overheads. This Excel sheet format show how different parties are affected, especially employees during an attack, and their revenue and the cost are calculated in two different columns, as in so, and college separately. In here, first mention other person cost of incident among the social security insurance premium if paid by employee, uh, and if paid by employer and if paid by employee, leaves, trade union dues in part of paid by employee. All are part of paid by employee can be cost. Second, other cost compares all cost borne by the entity beside total personal cost and cost of goods sold. It's we call COGS. Example: subcontractors cost, rent, suppliers, amortization and depreciation, financial cost, and etc. Now we will calculate cost of incident for each street separately. Now I am going to show the Excel sheet, the cost of incident calculation Excel sheet. Mm, this is the one I talk now. Uh, Now I am going to talk the spam. Uh, incident of spam, how we calculate the cost. In this scenario, the institution is attacked by spam in a large volume. The installed filters are 99% effective. Hence, how much might it cost to deal with remaining 1%? It's important to consider the time devoted by an average employee to removing unwanted mail from the mailbox. The total time can be up to second per spam mail. Thereby, we have to calculate cost of entity per year. The approach to spam is individual. Some employees actually read it, others react to each mail, system alerts and delete it. Still, others have created and configured their individual trash bin, which they review and clean once in a while. The loss of greater in the case of college, since all students also affected by the spam. Uh, if number of spam mails received by an employee or student per day is 500, percent of the spam mails get through the filter system is 1%, which represented cell G4. Um, and time identify the spam mail. Delete and return on productive works is 2 seconds. 2 seconds, in which is cell in G5. Then if an example deleted 5 spam mails per day, then number of work days lost of the each of employee or student will be 0.07 days per year. Another cost is increased telecommunication throughput and the use of mail server processing power to transmit and process unwanted mail. Next, I'm going to the second incident cost of the second incident type is virus attack. In this example, virus attack the entity and caused the loss of day of work for 20% of the employees, and the student in the college is in cell G3. Before they can resume their work, the IT department has to identify the problem, find solution. It's taking 2 hours, and repair each of affected computers. It takes 30 minutes, as shown in cell G7. In all 60% of IT departments, in all 60% of IT department is involved in the identification cleaning process in cell G5. Time of clean up to computer, it's 30 minutes. Number of workdays lost by each of the affected employee depicts in cell G4. Number of workdays each employee student affected 1 day. Additionally, some systems have had an reinstalled and additional work by the IT department is necessary. It has taken 6 days of work to reinstall the system and solve all outstanding issues. This time was used all the consult the student on their reinstallment. Many students' laptops were infected while working at the college premises. Although it took only 2 hours to identify the problem and find the cure, like cleaning hundreds of student laptop was over over managing a large task of for IT department employees. In addition, each employee and student lost 1 day because their work has not been backed up prior to incident. This Excel sheet shows virus virus incident how cost uh, calculation. Third incident type is DDoS attack. In this example, web page became inaccessible and attacks lasted 36 hours and its starting time meant by the affected 1.5 working day. It's mean 1.5 day. The impact of two institutions were different as a store business is much more dependent on its web page. Most loss for the store were connected with loss of orders. Ideal time of many employees and disturbance in the backlog and just-in-time processing. The college loss were connected mostly within the idle time of few employees and the some additional workload for the IT security department. But if the college offers some distance learning model, the loss can be significant. It is assumed 20% of all students participate on learning in calculation. The loss of labor cost is equal to duration into the number of employees whose work affected by attack into the levels of loss of their efficiency into their salary increase by additional personnel cost and other costs. The lost income in the time when the website is not operational. Here we assume the sales are proceeding evenly round the clock into the average margins. Loss of confidence imaging. Loss of confidence. Imagine the loss of confidence, image impairment, and high restoration cost of all those haven't been included in calculation which can be evenly closer such firms. Next is data theft. Next security sheet is the security data theft. In this example, due to an IT system security breaches, part of the database uh, containing personal data of a large number of customers. Actual former student has been stolen to cover the damage. 1,000 people receive €1,000 each compensation. This is typically loss of small company in the data theft case. Cell G3 shows the number of victims whom entity must pay the amount to be paid each them in cell G4. Cell B6 Cell B6 contain amount of uh, time of top management and lawyers in cell 7 and external legal fees in 8. These ones. The incident has additional consumed a lot of time of lawyers, top management. Furthermore, significant external fees had to be paid for external consultants and court fees. Additionally, over the following year, 5% of internet stores customers have lost as a store's reputation suffered. These customers deciding to purchase good from another store. Similarly, for the college, 5% new students decided to enlist in other college compared with the total number of students entering the program offered because of lack of trust in the college after the incident. Final incident considered active botnet members incident containing and distributing offensive content. Law enforcement agency officers entirely premises and seized a number of computers. This action has caused general confusion among the employees for half day. Cell F7 shows the number of employees who were not working for this time due to the above commission and due to the other reasons caused by LEA officers performing their duties. And their average efficiency compared to normal in cell F8. As a result of this action, the IT department lost or had additional work for the number of workdays in cell F9. The same applies for the lawyers and the top management as in cell F10. And cell F11 respectively shows that the entity had to immediately buy replacement equipment for 30,000 euros wait for delivery as the sized equipment would stay procurement officers for a number of months afterwards. Although these machines will still useful for backup and alternate site supports, their value will be value will be negotiable. Some employees would be arrested. That process of additionally may cause interruption in everyday work process. Now, presentation slide. This spreadsheet compares the result of the internet store and the college. The result represent only 5 among the numerous kind of security incident. The results in this top row. This top row copied from individual analysis are called single loss expectancy. The results of concern only 5 out of many possible security incidents, each of them carrying significant risk of loss. As many as possible should be considered, for all which the expected annual rate of occurrence in negotiable. The obtained annual side loss of expectancy ALEs can compare to the planned budget or investment plan address each of the problem risk. There are solutions that address number of possible kinds incidents. There are return on investment analysis should include some of all relevant ALEs. In each of the spreadsheet, there are additional positions to be considered like cost of reputation and trust and known how. These costs should be considered the particular costs and they are assumed zero in conservative approach. The result of collected in the comparison spreadsheet for the internet store for the college, the result of representing only 5 among number of kind of security incident results in top row that copy told earlier also. In this slide, now we will look in simple case using this calculation. To decrease the expected loss of purchase of a new security appliance is considered in an IDS, IPS, intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention system. The and the testing has shown the probability it will further decrease virus penetration occurrence and the botnet turnover rate of occurrence by 2 times. It will not provide any additional shield against spam, DDoS, or data theft. The appliance cost of euro 15,000, the above effectiveness will be maintained for 3 years and therefore the appliance uh, amortization is assumed to be 3 years. The question is should the internet store or college purchase this appliance and what is the cost effective rate? Uh, to solve this problem, we have to calculate ROSI, return on security investment using shown formula. If you get positive ROSI, then the investment can be accepted, and if you get a negative ROSI, have to look for another security measures investment. According to the given ROSI calculation, college can go for the given security appliance, whereas IT store has to find another suitable substitute as it got negative ROSI value. There are a few important points of mention related these calculations on cost of handling incidents. First is cost of security. Incident depends greatly on kind of incident, the type of affected entity, and its scale. The incident that involve legal consequence may be the most expensive ones. Next, expected daily depends on heavily on the expected probability of incident occurrence. ARO depends on the types of incident and the kind of entity attack. This is analyzed help compare the ALE and total ALE of the security breaches, which consider the investment of equipment, reducing the risk. And a strong knowledge base needed to support finding demand for new security measures. Finally, its technical mitigation is not beneficially to be always accept the risk. In such scenario, introduce possibilities in ensure the asset in the case. Hence, cost of incident handling essential monitor of the monetary values of the incidents and their expected occurrence frequencies. And entirely management will accept budget for the mitigation tools not only if proposed investment are justified, but team proves that the proposed solution offer an optimal cost benefit ratio. Here are the reference used to presentation. Thank you.